So scary. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we've got the scariest video of all time, if I do say so myself. Today we are going through every single book on my physical TBR, and I am so scared. I truly think that I have more books that I have not read than I have that I read. It's so scary. I desperately need to go on a book buying ban, and I don't know exactly how many unread books I have, but I know that it's a lot. So let's get started and let's chat about my books. I have my two bookshelves that are behind me. I have this one and this one. I also have one that's across from me in my room, and I am out of space, you guys. I am truly so out of space for my books. It's alarming. So I have those three bookshelves that are in my room, and then I also have books out in my TV stand in my living room. So lots of books, different places, but I'm just gonna go shelf by shelf and show all the ones that are unread and chat about them a little bit if I see fit. And we'll get going. Oh my word, do you see how empty that shelf is now that I just took off all the ones that I have not read? Before I start, my books are in rainbow order, so they're not going to be with the same authors or the same series, maybe. So they're going to be kind of just like randomized, so sorry. Starting off hot, we've got Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. This is the cutest cover. I've seen her other books too. She has very cute covers. I just have not been in the biggest romance mood, so you'll probably see a lot of romances on here. The No Show by Beth O'Leary. Taylor Jenkins Reid, we've got a couple of them on here, so this one is After I Do. I bought this book so long ago, and I don't know if it's something I'm still interested in reading, so if you've read this, let me know. Then we have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I don't have a lot of Tessa Bailey books on my TBR anymore, just because again, I kind of feel like I've steered away just from like spicy romance, just like books like this. Like, I don't know, like, and maybe that's not even what this is, but I just feel like I've kind of grown out of enjoying those types of books, but you'll see there's still some on here. There's Something About Mary by Cody Hall. If I do not read this Christmas season, I am definitely unhauling it. Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I do love her books though, so I'm just kind of contradicting myself. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I have like the indie version. It's crazy that I still haven't read this. The Stranger in the Mirror by Liv Constantine. Our first thriller of the stack. With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. Riley Sager is my favorite thriller author, so this is one of the only ones that I have not read by him. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I have never read an Abby Jimenez book, but she's from Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota, so I do have a couple of her books on here. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Stay Awake by Megan Golden. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I can't believe I haven't read this either yet. I also have the indie published version of this as well. And I don't know, I just haven't picked it up yet. Someone convinced me to read this book. I've obviously only heard amazing things, and it was like so hyped up, so someone told me to read this. Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read like a little bit of this 2 years ago, and then I stopped. So The Women by Kristen Hanna. I have not read a Kristen Hanna yet. I have a couple of her books on here, and I want to read one so bad, but honestly they kind of scare me. Scared of the emotional turmoil and the length of the books, but I know that I've heard amazing things. I don't really read historical fiction, so that also kind of scares me, but I feel like they're probably definitely gonna be great. Okay, that is shelf one. I'm just realizing that I'm gonna have to put these back and try to put them back in colorful order. Up next we have The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. She does the Crime Junkie podcast. I read her first book and enjoyed it, so we'll see how this one is. Dark Corners by Megan Golden. Here's another Kristen Hanna one that I have. It is The Nightingale. I've heard so many people say this is like their favorite book of all time, which really scares me, and kind of like hyped up books scare me because I don't want to not enjoy them if everybody else enjoyed them, you know? Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Chunky book. Okay, and then I have some books that I honestly don't know if I will ever read. And I know that sounds really bad, and I know this could take me into unhauling a book, but I just don't feel like doing that right now, so I'm just gonna show you them anyways. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I have a few of her books on here, and I've never read any of them, and they're so thick, and I got this when I just got into reading, and so I feel like some of the books that I have had on my shelves for so long, I don't know if I'm going to touch ever. I don't know, we'll see. So I have this one, My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I can tell you I am probably most likely never going to read this book. I really have no interest in reading this one. I don't know why I still have it. The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. Back Up the Moon by Kristen Higgins. I've heard this one is sad, so I'm scared of it. I'm scared of so many books. The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I'm super excited to read this one, but I want to wait until the winter. I love this cover and heard such great things about it last year. Bunny by Mona Awad. Another one that I am absolutely terrified, and I feel like this is one that gets like really polarizing reviews, so I don't know. Another TJR book, we have Carrie Soto Is Back. Oh my gosh, I know you can't see, but this bottom bookshelf, there are 2 books that I've read. 2. Okay, next shelf, here we go. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I want to read this so bad, but also, you guys, like, the length of it scares me. It really, really scares me. Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, another one that scares me because it is so loved, or it used to be. It was like one of the hyped up books at the time. Bride by Allie Hazelwood. First Light Wins by Ashley Elston. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I know, I feel like, again, like, I should have read this by now. A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. I have the other one around here somewhere, so you'll see that soon. Only If You're Lucky by Cece Willingham. I read A Flicker in the Dark by her and loved it so much, so I'm super excited to get into this. Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I feel like I should read this in this fall season. Nothing Man by Catherine Ryan Howard. Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister. Deep End by Allie Hazelwood. The Midnight Library from Matt Haig. This is another one that I've owned for so long. This was like one of those like popular TikTok books when I was just starting out reading. And again, one that I don't know if I will actually. Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one I actually think I bought before I even got into reading, and it's still just stuck around on my shelves. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Now again, this is one of the books that I've had on my shelf for so long. Funny Story by Emily Henry. As you can see, I did try to read this when it first came out, but I was in such a bad reading rut and I just wasn't feeling it. So if you are a Funny Story stan, let me know. That is this bookshelf. This is so scary. I have not read like any of my books. Buying books and reading books are two separate hobbies. Okay, let's move on to the shelf. One in Rome by Sarah Adams. I do actually really want to read this one because I've heard it's just like a cute, non-spicy romance. Then we've got Daisy Hates, second book of the Magnolia Parks universe. Love Theoretically by Allie Hazelwood. I love these romances that take place in the STEM world. I just have to get to it because I have to be in a very specific mood to read romance. This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Another TJR, Maybe in Another Life. I think this is my last Kristen Hanna on here. We have The Great Alone. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I feel like this is like intense fantasy, like very much strictly fantasy. I don't know if there's romance in here, so if that scares me. The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This might be the oldest book on my TBR. I have had this so long, and to be honest with you, I don't really have any want to read this book, but I don't know, I can't bring myself to let go of it for whatever reason. And we've got Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Whalen. I used to read Jodi Picoult books in high school all the time and used to be obsessed with her books. I haven't read them as an adult. Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I have not read a Frederick Bachman book yet, so I'm excited to do so. I've only heard good things. One Italian Summer by Rebecca Sturley. I don't know if I want to read this because I've seen my reviews are kind of weird and funky with the mother-daughter relationship, so I don't know if I will read this. I really need to do it on a haul, let's be real. One of Us Is Dead by Geneva Rose. Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. Another one that I've had so long on my TBR and have not read it. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. The Next Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. I love this cover and I feel like this screams summer. Speaking of summer, we have One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. This is the one that takes place like second to every summer after, I believe, and that is one of my favorite books of all time, so I'm super excited to get to this. Okay, I know I've been saying this about like every single book that I pick up. This has to be for certain the oldest book that I have on my TBR. On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. Am I gonna read this book? I don't know. Probably not. It gets to a certain point that it's been on my TBR for so long. Should I read this or should I unhaul it? 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Our next Mariana Zapata we have from Luke Off with Love. We have The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. And Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I'm also finding all of these bookmarks that I've had in these books that I've like half read, softy inept. So this is my collection so far of bookmarks. All right, this is the last chunk of books from these two shelves. The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I'm running out of room to put these books down. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I've tried to read this. Look, another bookmark. So I've tried to read this. Am I gonna be too stupid for this book? I think so, and that's why I haven't read it yet, I think. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Another one that just scares me because I'm not a video gamer. When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. This is a nonfiction, and this one is just kind of like, I don't know if I can handle this mentally, so we'll see if I ever read this. No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall, and What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. Another one that I read half of. This is actually kind of embarrassing. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I keep saying that I want to get to this, and every time I hear about this book, I hear that it's slow, but I hear that it's amazing. And slow books scare me, and that's why I haven't read it. This is the last Mariana Zapata book I have, Culty. I have Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. Okay, then we've got these 3 books in the, I don't even know what the series is called. Neon Gods is the first one. It's like the Mount Olympus series. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like mythology stuff. And after I read Neon Gods, I was like, okay, I need like every single book that comes out after that, even though I think I rated Neon Gods like 3 stars. And I still haven't read these. I don't know. So we've got Electric Idol, Wicked Beauty, and Radiant Sin. These are all by Katie Robert. And that is these 2 shelves. As you can see, they are very barren. This is just really embarrassing. And then I grabbed my books out from my TV stand. This kind of houses more of my like young adult, mostly young adult stuff, so I'll go through these. I don't know what this series is called, but I have these Hollow Vows and these Twisted Bonds. This is by Lexi Ryan. Then I have Vicious and Vengeful by B.E. Schwab. The thing with young adult is that I am not a young adult. At my big age of 27. So I don't know if I really can enjoy young adult stuff anymore. So I still have like some of these books, but I just don't know if it's something I'm ever going to be interested in reading again. So then I have Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Again, another thing that I tried to read and just couldn't finish. Okay, this is a cute bookmark, but for some reason then I bought the second one. I do have the entirety of the Harry Potter series. Here's number 1 right here as well. And then I have the first 5 books of the Addicted series. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't know if I'm ever gonna read this. I really, really don't. And I don't know why I had to buy the first 5 books. There's something wrong with me. Why did I think this was okay? So I kind of have these backwards, but we have Addicted to You, Ricochet, Addicted for Now, Kiss the Sky, and Hot House Flower. And could not tell you what these are about. I could not tell you. This was definitely an impulse buy, and I definitely had that habit when I was a younger reader. I definitely don't do that anymore. So then I have the Shades of Magic series by B.E. Schwab. So The Conjuring of Light and The Gathering of Shadows. So I have these 3 books. I have an Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, and I do have the old cover for this, so I'm happy I do. But this is the only one that I have in this series. We've got Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearsons. Another one that I have a bookmark in, but this one is a little ratty, so I'm not gonna take it out. Again, I don't know if I have any interest in reading these anymore. And then we've got the Shatter Me series. Again, like, why are we buying entire series at a time? Okay, we're almost done. We just have my final shelf over here. So let me grab those books. Okay, I'm out of breath from grabbing all those books, but our final shelf, here we go. A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. Good Girl, Bad Blood from the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. From the Twisted series, I have the very last one, Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. Legendborn and Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. Am I gonna read this? Then I have the Jade City series by Fonda Lee. So it's Jade City, Jade War, and then Jade Legacy. I have All In and Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is books 3 and 4 of the Natural series. Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gilling. This is the second book after One Dark Window? Yes, One Dark Window. Okay, then we've got a couple more from our girl Jennifer Armentrout. I read From Blood and Ash like 2 or 3 years ago, and then read the second one and have not continued the series since. I've just heard like such mixed things, so I don't know. Should I continue? I don't even know what the right order is, to be honest with you. Crown of Gilded Bones, A Shadow in the Ember, and then The War of Two Queens. The Atlas Six and the Atlas Paradox. Again, why did I buy this one if I haven't read this one? Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I just got this one in Book of the Month, and I am so obsessed with this cover. If It Makes You Happy by Julia Olivia. Again, can we talk about this cover? A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mindana. The Kiss Curse from Erin Sterling. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I have not read anything from Stephen King, but I've heard such good things about this, and I've seen this all over TikTok, so I'm super excited to get into this one. But obviously, again, the size is really scary, but I've heard such good things. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. My Friends by Frederick Mockman. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I love this cover as well. The Great BBL by Emily Henry. Great Big Beautiful Life. Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. Okay, here's the next one to that series, A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle Jensen. These Summer Storms by Sarah McLean. My final V.E. Schwab book, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Okay, my final stack of books. and it is Miss Sarah J Maas. We have the last couple books from Throne of Glass, so Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. I have not read the end of this series, only the first front. I've got that. And finally, we have the Crescent City series. We've got House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath, and House of Flame and Shadow. I just like need to show you guys what I'm working with right now. I mean, what in the heck? So these are all my unread books. Let me take a second or two to count how many books we have. Okay, just counted and I have exactly 150 unread books. This is concerning. This is genuinely concerning. How empty my shelves are, and I can promise you the one over here is just as empty. Like, do I read or do I just buy books? Okay, so this is eye-opening. I definitely have to do a little bit of shopping my shelves, and I think I'm gonna do a series where I do like shop my shelves and just try to get through my physical TBR. I also need to put myself on a book buying ban, absolutely, and I could probably do a little unhaul too. If you see anything in this stack that you're like, oh my gosh, you have to read that, it's so good, or if there's something I need to like prioritize on my physical TBR, please let me know. I would love to know your guys' thoughts. But that is gonna be it for today's video. Those are all 150 books that I have on my TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope I'm not alone in the amount of books that I have unread. I hope this is maybe relatable to somebody. But if you want to see me read any of these books, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!